Hello everyone, it's Animation 4, welcome back to some more FTB Infinity Evolved. There's an Enderman here. So, stuff. That's what. No. I've been doing some things. You see right here, we got some more lasers. A few more. It's night. Of course, it's always night. I filled up the entire walls of lasers. Each of them is a 7x4 for a total of 112. 28 on each side. That's 3 more than 25. So that's 100 plus 3 times 4, 112. 112 lasers down here. 8 up here. We got 120 lasers total firing on this assembly table, all drawing their power from these banks here. So I had to make some more redstone energy flux ducts for this, because each one is connected with a flux duct. So I'm like, hey, why not make just a ton more? So I made like either 5 or 6 stacks. It was one of these, either 5 or 6 stacks. And I connected the windmills up here, which I added 2 more of, and up to 5, with redstone energy flux ducts. So you're getting 500 RF per tick from wind power. Just then going into these 2 redstone energy cells, which are full. 160 million? 160 million RF? Yeah, 160 million. Which is enough for actually 2 of these. Each of these takes 50 million RF to make a resonant machine frame. The material cost isn't that much. Like, I have the materials right here. This was not expensive in the grand scheme of things. I could make a bunch. The problem is power consumption. This thing right here, I don't even know how much it pulls. I'm actually going to start making this now. Throw all these in. There it is. You can see how much energy this thing can pull, and it also looks really cool. But it pulls a ton of power. It's still going up. I think it's going to hit 5K. 4.8K. So it pulls a lot of power. And very slowly completes. So I have the materials to make a bunch of these. I don't have the power generation. Technically, I have the power generation over here. If I hooked up a tesseract to this, we'd be fine. But I'm using that power generation right now to power the laser drill. I'd like to have this base running on that, if possible. But I know at some point I'm going to have so many bioreactors over there that that's not even going to be able to consume it all. So I'm going to have extra. And what I was going to do now is actually make it... No, that's not what I was going to do. So the reason I want to make this particular resonant machine frame, my first resonant machine frame, is for the inscriber. It takes a resonant machine frame. It also takes some overclocker upgrades. I'm going to have to figure out how to make these. I remember making them in Resurrection. I don't remember how. Pretty sure it takes lapis. I want to make an inscriber, because with the inscriber, we can then make some of these printed circuit boards. You take the inscriber, you could then make the processors, which make ME stuff. They actually make more than ME stuff. They make a lot of things. Look at this one. I'm pretty sure you make computers out of this. Yeah, advanced computer, regular computers. So like it's more than just that, and that's just this little machine. The next one I make, because I'm gonna end up making multiple, I will probably, this is gonna sound weird, I will probably make some of these ender tank frames. It's like, why would you do that? Why are you making an ender tank? No, because these have multiple uses, mainly making ender chests, making really inexpensive massive distance item transportation and liquid transportation. So if I put a pump in the end, if I put a pump in the nether, I don't need a tesseract. This is basically 8 tesseracts right here. Almost. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do with the next one. But first I got to finish this one, which it's making fair progress. So while it's doing that, I'm not going to waste too much time. There's something else we need. And that is right here, the pure Certus quartz crystal, which Just drop a Certus quartz seed made from Certus quartz dust and sand into a puddle of water. So Certus quartz dust. So we need this seed right here. So Certus quartz dust, centrifuge, macerator, pulverize will work. Okay, I need a Certus quartz. There. That's a charged Certus quartz. Uncharged. Bloop. Right here. See, I had it run along. Combine this with a sand. My sand is all the way up here at the top. And we get a seed. 2 seeds, even better. And now I just need a bucket and a place to put this. Put this water back here. I don't know why this water is still here. And I'm just gonna go something like this. And that should make the crystals. It's gonna take, it either takes 5 minutes or 2 hours. I don't remember which. But how is this coming along? It's getting there. Like I said, it's not expensive. It just takes a lot of power. So this was the recipe for coolant. You just take some water, 8 lapis dust, or distilled water in one. I'll use 8. I have lapis, and that's in a fluid canning machine. It's a fluid solid canning machine. Okay. So how expensive is this? Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. Maybe like 30 seconds. A little bit longer than that. And it's done. Nice. Gimme. Gimme. There it is. Beautiful. I don't want to place it down because I fear I can't pick it back up. Canning machine. Done. Symmetric. Ah, I'm breaking symmetry. No. Put it above this. Need some glass fiber cables to connect it. Okay, real simple setup right here, I think. I think this will work. So I moved it down a layer just so it would line up better. Got a world interaction upgrade, pulling water into a tank. Dumps water into here. This thing should be constantly filled with water. And it pulls it out into this tank over here. So in theory, I dump a stack of lapis dust into that. We should end up with 8 buckets of IC2 coolant. Look at that, that's really cool. Yeah, there's a bucket right there. So I could just let this run. Another cool thing about the coolant. Make the coolant cells using tin plates. These make overclockers. I can make my IC2 stuff run faster now. Should be fun. That's what was sticking out. Top of the morning to you. These little caves of just darkness, that's what's causing me the problems. Tell you what, this episode, we are making 3 resonant machine frames. 3. They're at 4%. A little bit further to go. Just a little bit. So you've had one of those moments where you see something and it kind of makes you flinch a little bit. And then you look at it some more and it's like, yeah, that was worth flinching at. So, vibration chamber you can't make. Every ME thing needs power. The only way to get power is to pass through this energy acceptor. Okay. Right? It's just quartz glass, so that's easy. And it's just a wrench. It's just a wrench. So, yeah. 2 enhanced Galgadorian metal, and 2 enriched Cenarium alloy. $16 iridium reinforced plates. 64 iridium ore. Yeah, no. Yeah. Each iridium ore, which I need 64 of, is 6 plutonium. I just need 6 stacks of plutonium. That's all. That's all. I mean, that's not that much, right? Just 6 stacks of plutonium. And since you get it in tiny piles, you don't actually get you get the plutonium in tiny piles. I just need how many stacks? 54 stacks of tiny piles of plutonium. But it's okay. I get them one at a time. This one. I get them one at a time. In groups of 6, though. Actually, no, in groups of however many I have. Every, 3 hours. See, now, if I let this world run for a couple years... No, it's not gonna be that incredibly hard. But that step right there basically means we can't do this for a long time. But I have managed to make some overclocker upgrades. This thing now runs a lot faster. I'll just leave it at a lot. No idea where any of this came from. So that's good. But it means you can't do that today. So instead, we're going to set up the nuclear reactors. As many as I can feasibly... Not as many as I can reasonably make. As many as I can make, period. The setups that I made last episode. And we're going to get those running as soon as possible. Oh, and try to automate them so that it recans the uranium and puts it back in. So it's basically a self-producing plutonium machine. Yet very slow. Alright. Bit of crafting done. Not that much, but it did use a ton of iron and lead. Like a stack of each, I think, for this block. Well, for this block and the 6 reactor chambers. So now we got to make the fuel rods, which is something like this. You get enriched uranium nuclear fuel. And I think this machine will work. It's got the uranium on it right there. And it'll start canning. Let me grab overclockers. And these do stack nice. At least I'm hoping they stay stacked. Actually, out of those, I need 8 more. 8 more empty cells. Drag this back over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dump those in. Should be done real quick. Here we go. Yeah. These overclockers are great, but I gotta move them around every time. If only I had enough overclockers for all of them. So there we go. 20 uranium fuel rods. Store these in here. The next thing we need are lots and lots and lots of advanced heat vents. 2 advanced heat vents per fuel rod. Actually, if I think about how the reactor is going to form, we're going to have a 6x9, and the fuel rods take up a 3x6. So we'll have 3 of them. So we can only put in 18 uranium fuel rods for 36 advanced heat vents. So 72 heat vents. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Easy mode. Not really. I'm kind of getting low on copper. Alright, let's see if this is worth it. What? Why is it going so slow? Don't have enough haste in my gloves? Am I missing something? This should be faster. Should be faster. My gloves did not have max redstone. See if we get it now. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. This will make things so much easier. Especially now that I'm looking for copper. So, I'm not going to change topics, but we're going to start doing something else. So yeah, I did say at the beginning of the episode we're probably going to end up making 3 resonant machine frames. That was not true. We're going to make 2, since we can't do... I need a little bit more Enderium. We're going to make 2, since I can't do the thing with the the ME stuff. Can't do the ME stuff. That's what I get for trying to gather supplies and talk at the same time. So, what I'm going to make, hopefully this works. So, the 2 things I was going to make besides the inscriber were the ender tank frames, so we can make some ender chests and some ender tanks. And the other one was the QED, which has a machine frame in it. The ender tank frames obviously to replace tesseracts, except for power, because there's no ender power node. And the QED, if you don't know what the QED does, think of a QED recipe. It has some crafting recipes in it that are really important. Retrieval nodes are helpful in some cases. You have some energy transfer nodes, hyper energy nodes. There's some material processing, but really importantly, it makes spikes. And spikes are a nice alternative to a grinder. Not only do they give you the XP orbs, but they can also give you rare drops. So zombies can drop iron ingots, or mobs can drop their loot bags, that kind of thing. Things that you can only get from killing them yourself. And they also make the magnum torch, but that requires bedrockium. So I want to make both of those things once... Oh, that was actually really fast. Now that the Enderium's done, I'm going to start making another machine frame. Oh, right. And the other thing I want to do, this is where it gets fun. So, obviously I want to make a mob spawner, right? But I don't want a mob spawner here. That'd be loud. But it needs to be chunk loaded. And there are ways of chunk loading, right? I mean, there's a chunk loader. It's not cheap, but there's a chunk loader. There's world anchors. I don't think they're cheap either. You have to supply them with ender pearls to keep them running. So they're not cheap also. There's another way though. What if I didn't need to load the chunks? That'd be like, oh, it means it's here. No, it's not here. If I put it somewhere else. What if? Get rid of these. Portal to the last millennium. So, there are actually 2 dimensions that come with extra utilities. There's the Deep Dark, which everyone knows about, and then there's the less known Last Millennium, which is basically a void world with a small platform in the middle. However, in my testing, the spawn of the void world is chunk loaded. So I could put stuff there that I want to be chunk loaded, but don't want to be near, which is really helpful. Oh, that's bedrock. And this is not expensive. Burnt quartz, yada yada yada. This takes purple and magenta dye. Like, this is really cheap. Unless the clock recipe changed, which I don't know why it would. They should be able to make that really quick. I need 4 stone, 1 ender pearl, 16 nether quartz, and then a few dye. I know how to make purple. How to make magenta? 2 reds, a blue, and a white. Okay. Yeah, so I can make this thing really quick, and we can give it a try and see what happens. Red dye. Boom. Okay, that should, in theory, do it. I think this is shapeless, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. And we get a portal to the last millennium. Now, I'm not quite sure if this does anything weird. Like if it... I don't know what it would do, but I don't know if it does anything weird like that. Put it right here. It does have some cool particles, though. I'm not sure if something will go wrong. I don't want to lose everything I have. Basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm just gonna dump everything in here. Just take off my knapsack. Come on. And we're gonna go visit the last millennium. Mobs can spawn there, though. I did see mobs could spawn there. So here we go. And this is a much better option than choosing a... I thought I heard a baby zombie. This is a much better option than choosing a Mistcraft world, because this is like guaranteed void. No corruption effects or anything. So here's the last villager. What's up? You don't have any trades. How exciting. So here it is. There's actually a layer of bedrock underneath this, which is funny because laser drills work on bedrock. So yeah, this is the void world. Mobs do spawn. If you make a platform out, mobs would spawn, but this light right here and the fact that I'm standing nearby is preventing them. So what happens if I go back? I also want to test jumping off the edge and all that stuff. See, just test all the things. Yeah, this is what I was worried about. I don't know why it brings me back to nat spawn. Like in one test I did, it brought me back here. In the other test I did, it respawned me right on the portal. Right on the portal that I first placed down. So I don't know why it's not working. That poison ivy. So I'm going to go back there. And if this is the case, I can always just create a transport route from here to there. Probably some wet roads. Oh, by the way, I gotta say something about wet roads. There was an update to the mod pack. And the road to where I was gonna put the reactors, the dry road that I would hover on, that doesn't work anymore. The hover doesn't help. But the water is about twice as effective now. I sometimes actually rubber band so hard while going on the water that one time I actually flew backwards down the road. I whipped down, somehow rubber banded back to where I was, and the movement of me backwards started me going the other way, and I flew back out the way I came from. It's really funny. But I am going so much faster on that thing. Yes, I'll be fine. Let me get back there. Okay, so I've been doing a small amount of building. Didn't really focus on making anything too pretty. But it's functional. See, look how functional. No. Hi, just visiting. So in theory we should appear on the platform. Yeah, we appear on the platform. And here is my waterway. Let's see what happens. I rubber banded. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem. Okay, that is starting to look like a problem. Maybe if I walk forward. I don't know if you can hear me. No, the game crashed. Okay, but if I look at the map, I'm past my base. I am near the farm. I just traveled a good 50 chunks in literally 0 time. Let's see where I am. Hopefully it loads. That was a weird crash. Okay, I'm somewhere. I'm back here. Okay, so it actually just reverted from the crash. So, I don't know if you could hear what I said before, but basically... that's not an elevator. Yeah, so this water on road system changed a little bit. I said last time it goes a lot faster. This system's short, though. This you only go till there. So you can gain some speed, but then you get stopped. This one's longer. When I crashed, what I saw on the minimap is that I was about here. Probably in line with this, so like here. Yeah, that looks about right. Because I could see that on the minimap. And it was about there. So I made it to about here. About 5 seconds. Which tells me this system... Yep. I'm actually crashing. From going too fast. Okay, I removed some of the waterways. And hopefully we don't crash. We don't go too fast. That was better. I didn't crash that time. I actually might go a little bit faster. That seems to maintain the speed. I took out every other one past the beginning. I left like 3 in the beginning and took out every other. So if I put this one back, it should get me a lot of speed right at the beginning. But hopefully not be crashable. I hope. I've never had a problem going too fast before. That must be where I'm rubber banding. Yeah, that must be where I was rubber banding. That's like, must be just past some limit or something. I don't know, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Math, I really don't know. Close enough. That is close enough at this point. So that is a fast way of getting back from natural spawn. So now we actually have to do one more thing. I still have this. Did I have a cherry pick? I made a silk touch pick. It's mainly for lapis and redstone mining. Because when I silk touch redstone and then induction smelt it, I get a ton of rich slag and 9 redstone as opposed to like an average of 7.5 or something. Like maybe an average of 7. So I get more redstone from it and I get rich slag. For lapis, I basically have an infinite amount of lapis at this point. Like it's like, oh, there's only 2 there. Yeah. This was, I want to say, a little over a stack of lapis blocks, which took me about 5 minutes to get. So I have silk touch and some unactivated division sigils. Let's go activate them when day comes. Hi, sheep. You want to be my friend? You want to be a sacrifice? The sheep wants to be a sacrifice. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Don't run away. I know what you want. I'll get him. Moon is in the right position. Nope. I'm fine. How are you doing? Fine. I'm fine. It's spreading. It spreads. Okay. It's close enough. Mainly because I was bored. Okay. So I haven't really... I've been going really fast. And I gotta stop doing that. Because it kind of leaves you in the dark with what's really going on in this world. And I feel like I've noticed that. But I haven't really made a point of doing anything about it. So, as you know, I usually do this thing where I come up with an end goal and come up with like 10,000 steps to get there. Right now, my end goal was an ME system, and I thought I was almost there. I had side goals for plutonium and just kind of set up plutonium farms. And now I realize that the ME system kind of goes along with that. So when I was focusing on the ME system, I didn't really tell you about the side goals. So I need the plutonium farm, which is originally going to be set up down there. But that's annoying. So my plan is to actually put the plutonium farm in the last millennium. That way it'll be chunk loaded, and if for some reason it explodes, nothing really gets damaged. Except I guess the portal back. It'll be fine. So that's the plan. So I needed a road back here to constantly come back. The other thing I need in order to get this working is copper. Because I calculated it out. I need almost 400 copper ingots for the amount of advanced heat vents that I want. 72 heat vents. Each heat vent takes 16 copper wire. 1 copper ingot makes 3 copper wire, so it's like 5 1/3 copper ingots per heat vent. Per heat vent. That's a lot. So I made a hammer to instant mine at a higher level so I can get copper. I'm actually planning on getting some orange laser focus in there. Brown or orange, one of those two. I've also kind of had this side thing that I've wanted to do, but it hasn't really been important. I've wanted to set up a mob spawner and grinder. Just because every world kind of needs one. And I'm pretty sure liquid experience comes in handy once you get to Draconic Evolution. It actually has a use. I was looking up recipes. I saw an actual use for XP. There's no liquid XP. It's not in here. It's used in some Draconic Evolution thing, so I'm gonna need it. And also you get ender pearls, you get gunpowder, that fun stuff. So I want to set that up there. That's pretty much all I'm planning on for the last millennium. That way I don't have to go to it very much. So this episode was very all over the place. I knew I needed coolant cells for that, and it's like, wait, I don't need that. Now it's like, I want to make a QED so I can make the spikes. And it's like, so much stuff. All I'm going to do right now, I'm going to slow down a bit. I'm trying to go fast, but being restricted by the game. I'm going to slow down. What I'm going to do right now is focus on the QED. We're going to make a QED. That way we can get some spikes. Good? Okay. Sometimes you just go too fast. Sometimes you go too fast and the world just starts spinning and then crashes 2 times because you actually were running too fast. It happens. It's normal. So we're just going to make a QED. It's going to be nice. So what's the recipe? Double layer capacitors, eye of ender. Okay, easy. So the other thing we need to actually make the QED run, which has also a changed recipe. I don't remember exactly what they're called. I know what they look like. I know they're from Exo-Utils. Ender flux crystals. So these have a changed recipe. They only make one. Requires diamond etch computational matrix for each. And basic gates, which... red pipe wire and resin chipset. Okay, so it's doable. Definitely expensive, but it's doable. I'll probably make 4. Because each of these takes one of these, and I make these in groups of 4. Yeah, so I'll probably make 4 ender flux crystals. So I think this should do it. I think these gates work. So when I use NAI to look up the gate from the recipe of the whatever the name of the thing I'm trying to make is, 'cause I can't remember the name, it doesn't show the recipe for this, but it matches perfectly, and it's fine. Cool. So there we go. We got a QED. Let's put this downstairs right here, and boom, 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 boom. Cool. Let's try making something. Specifically, let's try making some iron spikes. Iron sword, iron block makes 1. Then you can use it to make a gold spike. I'm not gonna do. Let's just make 2 iron spikes, because I actually don't have much iron right now. So let's see how this works. Iron sword, iron sword, iron sword. I believe, if I'm not wrong, you can supply power to these. like RF power, and they'll function faster. But I'm also pretty sure you could just let it run. Clusters will generate a small amount of ender flux from regular redstone flux ratio of 1000 RF to 1 EF. Yeah. Individual pillar is not very powerful and generate a max of 0.08 EF, which cannot be stored. Yeah. So you can power it using RF power, but you can see this is working fine. It takes a little while, so if I want to do stuff in bulk, I'm gonna need a better system, but it works fine right now. I just want to do processing this way. It's not a reasonable way of processing. Well, it does triple your ore. Oh, we got spikes. But that right there is going to do it for this episode of Infinity Evolved. I know it feels like it was all over the place because it kind of was, but that was because like 3 things I wanted to do just wouldn't end up working. But we have a plan. Next episode, we're going to be building inside the last millennium. Hopefully this guy doesn't mind us taking his world. Yeah, we're going to be setting up a nice mob spawner probably underneath here. I don't know yet, but probably underneath here. And some nuclear reactors if I have enough materials at that point. So, ready? You're gonna, no, face that way. You gotta face same distance, same direction as me. Do you not know how to do this? Like, stop looking at me. It's creepy. Thanks for watching. There you go. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.